Hey everybody, it's Jess Forster, and I'm so excited to be on the Scrapbook and Cards Today blog, sharing with you my travel-inspired page. For this traditional page, I am using the Simple Stories Here and There collection. In fact, this is a part one of a two-part series. Today, I'm going to share with you how the strategy I use to document a lot of vacation photos. If you are like me, you probably take a lot of pictures when you are on a trip, an adventure, or a vacation. I decided to document our East Coast trip to Prince Edward Island back in 2019. What I love about this Simple Stories collection is its earth tones. I think that this is a perfect collection to use for a trip that you took outdoors, that you spent a lot of time in the wilderness. I selected the Travel Therapy, that rainbow color piece of pattern paper, and this is going to serve as my coordinating color scheme for not only my traditional page, but the pocket page I'm going to create in part two. Essentially, when I document my vacation, I select the best or my most favorite photos from the trip to create a daily opener. I put those on a traditional page, which I will show you here, and then I combined my extra photos in a coordinating pocket page. Given that there are earth tones in my photos, I'm really wanting to make the colors of my kids' clothing, which is navy blue, I want them to pop. You'll notice that I've printed out 3 photos. One 6x7 enlarged photo of my family heading down to the red sand beaches, as well as the shoreline, and a picture of my daughter building Rock Inukshuk. I use a piece of that navy pattern paper to anchor my photos and my journaling. I'm using these corner rounders to define my white cardstock, and I'm using those amazing chipboard frames to house 2 of my photos. I've decided that I'm going to place my pocket page to the right-hand side, and so I'm essentially building my page from the bottom left-hand corner to the right. This will then pair with my pocket page, which will be placed on the right-hand side. You'll notice that the photos that I'm working with, which is of Argyle Shore Provincial Park, which is in the south part of Prince Edward Island, which is in the east coast of Canada, really works well with this collection. I'm essentially using those corner rounders to anchor the page and to give various pops of color. The photo, I can't believe, was taken almost 3 years ago. These are the best photos because it really highlights that sense of adventure and that sense of exploration. What I love about the chipboard photo or the chipboard frames is that it adds a little bit of extra texture to my page, as well as helps to balance the smaller photos against the enlarged photo. So there you can see a picture of my daughter Rowan building the Rock Inukshuk, and the next one will be of the shoreline. I'm simply just using some adhesive from 3M, and I'm placing that in the middle of the page. I'm actually covering the photo placemat. You'll notice that I've had to readjust and reattach that, but I'm putting it at the middle of the page. So it's at 6 inches, and I'm actually putting it off so that it angles and creating sort of an upward motion. Because of this photo placement, I'm then going to take my embellishments from the journaling tags, as well as the chipboard pieces in the Here and There collection, and add those around in a diagonal pattern. I essentially print off my journaling, and I'm using this travelogue tag to add a little bit of texture. What I love about Simple Stories is that they have a lot of tags that you can layer onto your page that gives that extra sort of feeling of adventure. As I was saying before, I print off my journaling onto a piece of white cardstock, and instead of printing directly on to the journaling page, I find this is easier. So I've already pre-measured that journaling spot, which essentially highlights parts of the day. So for this, you will notice that I am building from the bottom up, from the left-hand corner to the right, to give a diagonal sense of pattern. There is, I'm using the bits and pieces, and I've decided that my title will be Day 1 Memories. And again, as I said, I've selected my favorite photos from this travel day and highlighted them on a traditional page. I think this is gives a nice structure if you are trying to figure out what you want to document. Part of the challenge of documenting travel photos is choosing what your favorite photos are. After scrapbooking for so many years, I think that it's an acquired skill that you learn. That you learn. So here is a look of my completed page, Day 1 Memories from the Argyll Shore Provincial Park in Prince Edward Island. And stay tuned for part 2, which will be showcasing next month how I coordinate with a pocket page. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers.